this is my favorite part of this entire glue book, you guys. They're pho journaling cards. These are just, I cut them out of a food magazine and taped them onto watercolor paper, so they're nice and stiff. And then they just slide into the pocket. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Shaunta Grimes and this is Ninja Writers. I had a few minutes today, so I wanted to share with you this new kind of hobby that I have accumulated in the last couple of months, weeks, I don't know, not very long, but I'm having a ball with it. And I also have some thoughts about how this is going to help me with my writing. So might seem like a stretch to you, but stick with me. I think you'll be interested. Okay, so it's glue booking, which is basically exactly what it sounds like, taking a book and cutting out images and gluing them in. So kind of like collage, only maybe a little less formal than that, a little less artistic. Although to me it feels very artistic. I am not a visual artist, and so the ability to create something that feels like visual art without having to know how to draw or paint is pretty nice. Okay, so this is my very, very first ever glue book. It started out as a hardback ledger, maybe, notebook that I got. It was vintage at a Goodwill for 79 cents. And to prepare it, what I did, it had already been, somebody had written in it already, and then the pages were turned out. So there was only maybe 25 pages in here at all. And then I just went through and used Mod Podge and glued 2 pages together. So I ended up with 11 spreads. So I guess that means there was probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There was 18 pages in here, and I used the front and back cover. Okay, so, and then the front, I kind of wish I had done something different. I wish I had put a whole cover over here, but I cut these little bears out of a magazine that I got for free. And I went over to the antique mall across the street from my office, and one of the booths just had a stack of these collectors magazines sitting there with a big free sign. So I took them, and these bears were in there, so I stuck them on there. And then I thought that was funny in this issue, volume 1. This is my volume 1 glue book. Okay, so here is my first ever glue book. I wanted to put a place to journal on each page. I'm still working on the last couple ones, but so that these images are mostly from magazines, except this was from a children's book. It had these 2 owls, each winking one eye next to each other. So I made, this is my little journal card, and I turned this one into a little pocket. So there's my first spread. This is a Russian language book that I got at Salvation Army for, you know, $1 or whatever they charge for their books there. But someone had translated the words into English, and it was just fascinating to me. Like, look, tomboy friend. I made a little pocket here, not a pocket, a little fold out that I can journal on the back of that. And these are from a vintage children's book. I printed this out myself, and then the green was part of the printing, but then when I Mod Podged over this, the black ink made it all gray, so I watercolored on those. I cut out this teacup, and then I thought it looked like a speech bubble, so I wrote a little quote in it and made her say a balanced diet is a cookie in each hand, because there's cookies over here. This is a tag that I made out of an old music book. This is my favorite part of this entire glue book, you guys. They're pho journaling cards. These are just, I cut them out of a food magazine and taped them onto watercolor paper, so they're nice and stiff. And then they just slide into the pocket that I created here. I don't know. That's my favorite, I think. The pho journaling cards. Hilarious. This was printables that I got off Etsy for just a couple of dollars, and they're real pretty, but I thought, oh, this is my least favorite page. This was, because I thought it was kind of boring, that I had just printed it, and this was a freebie from the same Etsy seller. And they're not boring pages, they're real pretty, but I didn't like so much that I hadn't found these, that I had bought them. There's another one of those tags, and then this was another printable. This one's from Little Bindi, and it was in her zine. So pretty. Yellow roses always make me think of my mama. And then I found this lady, though, in a magazine, and she just looks so over it. Just look at her face. And I thought, she's tired of people telling her to just breathe. That made me like this page better. This page is one of my favorites. So this is little robots, this kind of creepy doll, and then this guy. And then I was like, man, he's kind of boring. He's just kind of grinning. And so I found this deviled egg, and I thought, oh, it fits perfect. So I made him an egghead. And then this little lady is sticking out here. Yep. And then over here, this page, these were mostly from in fact, they were all from magazines, little robots. And then this was an art book that I just got for $1 at a thrift store, and I took a page out of it, and it has a fold down. And then this is a stamp, and these are like a galaxy stamp, although it just looks sort of like black dots, but that's okay. I've had this page that I liked from this lady's traveling on the train, and then this said, what if time is like under your control or something? And I was cutting out this apricot page, and this ended up laying over that, and I thought, what if time is apricots? That's hilarious. So I just glued it down there and made a what if time is apricots page. And this is a picture from my daughter's aesthetic wall that she made. She gave me that picture from it. I put another tag from that music book there. And this is just a journaling card. This is from that same printable kit that I bought from the couple pages back. These are all magazine pictures. This cracked me up. It must have been an August 2020 magazine, but my daughter's birthday is August 20th, so I stuck that in there. A little brain. I loved these birds and hands pictures. And then I have the other side of this. I just stapled this over the edge and put a card in each side. Oop. This one, I like these, the girl and the woman sitting. It looked like they were sitting on the shelf. So I thought that was pretty. And then I just turned this lettuce leaf into a journaling card. It fits in the pocket there. And this is another, these are magazine. Oh, this is from a cookbook. This picture of the cheese and the wine, the bread. And this fold out is from the same spread on that cookbook, vintage cookbook. And then this is another picture I cut out of that art book. And then I glued those tomatoes. I thought it looked funny that he was trying to pick giant, enormous tomatoes. This one I was a little disappointed in because I switched to like a glossy Mod Podge, and it stuck. Like it didn't dry properly. I finally painted over it again with matte Mod Podge, and it's finally dry, but it messed it up. I ended up having to put paper here, and I had a flip out here that I had to take off altogether because it was just getting ruined from the Mod Podge sticking. It just wouldn't dry properly. But this is from a 1950s McCall's magazine, and so is this, and this page here. I just thought that was neat. This one I liked. I first thought it would look like they were jumping this car, but now I kind of think it looks like they're jumping out of the airplane. I pasted in there. And then this side, oh, this lady cracked me up. She looked like she had found a golden ticket. I think she's playing bingo, but She looked like she'd found a golden ticket to me. And then I just put some cows going up the mountain, and I don't know who these little dudes are, but they're like goat herds or something. And this is the back page. I did some watercolor on the edges of this one, and that's it. That's my glue book. And so what I'll do is probably continue to use it, like go in and maybe paste some more stuff in and journal on those cards. So I'm going to use it as a journal for, you know, there's only 11 spreads, so not for very long, but maybe for the rest of March. And then I found this little book at Goodwill a week or so ago for 49 cents, and it was a nice size book with blank pages. And what I did was, it has I don't know if you can tell, it has a bunch of signatures, maybe 10 or 15 signatures, which is just the pages that are, you know, that are folded over and sewn in. And I went in and I took out maybe 30 pages or 40 by taking out 2 pages from each signature to make it, I wanted it to be less full, so there would be room for it to be filled up with my glued in things. So, and then I glued 2 pages together for, you know, all the way through, because the pages were awfully thin. So they're still even a little thin. Like I could even glue 2 of these together to make these more. We'll see. And then I'm just going to go through and glue stuff in as it occurs to me. I like making, like, this is a little pocket. I just stuck that in there because this is a piece of watercolor paper that I, you know, left over from cutting something down, and I use it to like smooth out. So I just stuck it in that pocket. This cracked me up. I folded this paper to make these little, like, kind of accordion fold pockets, and then I found this page that had these little toasts, fancy toasts, and I cut them out and I glued them to leftover pages that I pulled out of the book to make like teeny weeny little journaling card toasts. This was like a fold out in a magazine, although I ended up messing it up. I cut the end and I was like, oh dang, because it was supposed to fold up this way. But anyway, I just taped that in to make a little booklet, and I'm gonna gesso this so that I can either paint on it or write on it or whatever. And so this is a work in progress. And this is the last spread I've made in this one so far. So anyway, oh no, one more little spread, super crispy dude. See there, that I'm not gonna use that glossy Mod Podge anymore, because no matter how long you let it dry, it sticks to itself. So upsetting. Okay, so anyway, I thought what I would do is I'm going to start another glue book, and it's going to be for my work in progress, which is the first book in a series. And I thought it could be like a visual plotting, planning book. You know, a planner, or I don't even know what to call it. I'm gonna have to think on that. But like you know, pictures that represent my characters and their settings and the things that I think that they would do, like what their ordinary life would be like, and what the special world of their story would be like, and just a visual thing that I can flip through. I'm a pretty spectacularly non-visual person, and it's difficult for me to visualize, say, settings or my story. I'm obviously capable of writing my stories, but I just don't visualize very well. And I thought a physical, visual representation of my story, where I can like collect photos or collect images and take notes in the same book, would be really cool. So stay tuned. I'm going to work on that, and then when I have it done, I'll share it and share more about that idea. But for now, I just wanted to share my glue books. This is, I feel like it's the equivalent of, say, adult coloring, or even like crossword puzzles or something, just sort of not for any purpose, not these ones anyway, just because I enjoyed collecting these images, collecting these like papers and things, and then sticking them in my glue book, because why not, right? And I like that I'm going to be able to do some journaling in here. That's it, you all. Have a fantastic week. And if you have done a glue book or you think you're going to try one, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. If you think that the idea of a glue book for your main character or for your story sounds like a great idea, let me know that too. I'd love your thoughts on it. Like, does that excite you the way it excites me? And make sure that you hit subscribe so that when I do put that video up, you don't miss it. Have a fantastic day. Bye.